Hey guys, my name is Miranda and today I'm here to react to the trailer for Madam Web. I honestly thought this was getting delayed. I was just talking with my brother about it the other day and like with the actors strike and everything like that and like what's the next like superhero movie coming up or whatever next year, and he was like Madam Web and I'm like, oh, that's still happening. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm actually quite excited about it. Like, it's got Dakota Johnson, who, listen, the only thing I've seen her in is in 50 Shades of Grey, but I have heard she's good in other things, so I think that could be interesting. Sydney Sweeney, who obviously I love in Euphoria, and then the premise just sounded very interesting of like the whole Madam Web idea, and I do like Venom is such a goofy comfort movie for me, okay? I'm gonna be honest. Like, is it a great movie? No. Is it a fun movie? Yes. I had so much fun watching it in theaters with my friend. Like, we were just laughing. It was hysterical. And if they can replicate that again, and not so much the Morbius side of things, I think it'll be a fun, silly, goofy time. I'm not going into this movie expecting a masterpiece, okay? I'm not looking to cry. I heard somewhere that the movie takes place in 2005, and then I also saw online after the trailer came out that they confirmed Adam Scott is playing Uncle Ben, which is really cool because I know Sony like always tries to, but I didn't really expect them to do it to connect to Spider-Man. I feel like it's kind of always their thing, right? You know how it's like someone's never going to give up on one dream. Sony's never going to give up on their dream of somehow making their movies connected to Marvel's Spider-Man. So yeah, I'm really excited to check out the trailer, and that's it. So yeah, let's look at it. Oh, Billie Eilish? Are you kidding me? Okay, I've said this before, I just need to say this right now because it irritates me. I don't know when this trend started of putting like a teaser trailer before the trailer, but like that's so dumb to me. Like, I don't need to be teased for what I'm about to see in a 2-minute trailer. Like, it just irritates me because I feel like it ruins a lot of like the action sequences and stuff like that. It wasn't too bad in this one, but like I'm never a fan of it, so. The way they all looked like, what? Is it a Spider-Man? Oh, shite. Oh, shite! Is he? What? Oh my gosh, Scream Call. Oh, I'm sorry, what? Why isn't YouTube working too? I'm like trying to hit the spacebar to stop it and like actually like take a moment to see what I just saw, and YouTube's like, I will not be doing that actually. That was, what an insane opening. She literally died and like all died. I saw Sydney Sweeney too, but I didn't realize. Who's that girl? Is she the one from, I gotta look this up. Is she the one from Dora the Explorer? Obviously, I don't know what other Dora there would be. She is! Oh my gosh, I love her. I think she's such a cool actress. I didn't know she was gonna be in it too. I also didn't know Adam Scott was gonna be in it till earlier today, so the things we learn. Oh my gosh, that's so reminiscent too of what was the Spider-Man? Was it the one with Andrew Garfield, or was it the one? There's one where like he is like trying to save someone from a car like that. I think it's a little kid because he's like, "Don't worry, like just look right at me, right at me." So like that's a good callback if that is a callback. I mean, it's not new to put someone off a bridge in a car in a movie. So she dies and comes back. That was Adam Scott. I didn't even realize that. Ben himself. Oh, that's awful. Wait, is she reading thoughts or she heard him say that? The Billy song. Oh, it's so good. Why is he attacking these three girls? I thought they knew each other too, but it doesn't even look like they do. Oh. Why did they put Sydney Sweeney in the worst wig, honestly? What? You have? What? What? They're all connected? Yeah, I was just saying that. Thank you. It's like, do you think she only can see the future of people that like she like somehow runs into? Like, it's just so interesting that these three like random girls, because it doesn't look like they know each other, are somehow all connected to her like earlier, maybe before she got her powers too, right? If it's like she was just driving the truck, unless that's like right after she got her powers. But that's also interesting because I thought like she was like regenerating in a way in the beginning when she's like, let's try that again. But it's actually more cool because it's like she can go through a scenario in her mind, see if it works, and then if it doesn't, just like, it seems like, try it again, or be like, well, I'm not gonna do that when I go in there, because like the diner thing, I thought like she got stabbed and then like woke up and was like, oh, take two, like she got sent back into the past, but really she was like playing out a future where she had done that and it didn't work out, so she's like, oh, we'll try something different. Like, that's really cool. That's fair. The Spider-Man suit is cool. Oh, they all get suits? Nice. He kind of looks like the guy from Catfish. Oh my gosh! Honestly, it wouldn't be a Spider-Man if there's not a fight on top of some tall building, right? The Calvin Klein. Oh, that's cool. That is cool. But he has the powers too, it seems, to see the future. Listen, I know I'm in the minority here because I've already seen it all on Twitter and in the comments. I think it looks fun. Like, I'm actually looking forward to it. I love the idea that I feel like we've seen so many times of like these like girls being rescued by like the guy, and then it becomes like a father figure kind of thing, like with Last of Us and Meg 2 and all that. So I like that the girlies are getting our turn, okay? We can mother just as well as the fathers can father. Some might say even better. So I'm excited for that. I knew her powers kind of, but I knew people weren't sure how exactly they were gonna portray them on screen, because obviously it's not the easy, you know what I mean? Like, it's not always super easy to like understand. My only concern too is that it might be a bit too much. Like, there might be too much backstory they're trying to cram in there with being like, oh, my mom knew him and all that, and then obviously like Ben. So I feel like there might be a little too much to cram into, and I feel like what they did good with Venom that I really liked was they made it like connected to Spider-Man, like wink nudge, whereas like Morbius, I feel like they tried to like overhand it too much, and it's like, if you just want to throw in like some fun little Easter eggs, that's fun. You don't have to like cram all these like extra characters and like all this stuff in to make it so people are talking about it and tweeting about like, oh my gosh, there's a spider, you know what I mean? Like, so I hope they just focus on the girls and like the story of that, because the villain also looks really interesting. Like, I'm sure he'll have some good development, so that's why I hope that they don't get too run down and like, oh, this is Ben and this is Mary and like Peter is being born or stuff like that. Like, I want them to focus on like him and them and the different powers, because it's also really always interesting to me when like the villain and the hero have kind of the same powers. And obviously they might not be the exact same, like maybe they'll explain that like there's kind of like a different edge to his than hers, but I think that's just interesting to me when it's like these two people who are fighting on the opposite sides kind of have the same powers, because then it's almost like, what's next? Like, you're matched on that level, so then it's like, who can outsmart or outwit the other one with what they have? And I feel like maybe what hers will be was that she has this kind of group of girls to help her and this family that and friends that they're going to build, whereas he seems to be all alone. And it'll also be interesting to see like the justification for his reasoning for why he's trying to take them out, if it's something that like they get rid of him in the future, or if it's like he is concerned that like they do something bad in the future. Like, I feel like it could get into like that territory of like, you know, Into the Spider-Verse, where it was like, you're not supposed to exist, so like that's why I'm trying, and like he's not right in any way, but in some sensible way you can see where it's like, oh, I see where he was going with this, you know? I just think it looks fun. Dakota Johnson as an action hero, like, sign me up. I don't love that Sydney Sweeney kind of looks like the male fantasy of like what a comic book heroine looks like, but that's aside, I'm sure it's not going to do well, because as we've learned from these movies in the past, if you've got girls starring in the main roles, the boys don't want to come. So I feel like that's where it's hard for me to separate like how much of it is like people not liking the movie and then how much of it is people being like, I don't want to see a girl as Spider-Man. You know what I mean? Because I feel like that's just like annoying. So I think it reminds me a lot of Venom though. Like, it just looks like a fun, silly time, and I think the story looks interesting. It looks, again, I could see where it gets too convoluted, but I feel like they did a good job streamlining it and making it pretty easy in the trailer to understand. So as long as they don't like over convolute it in the movie and make it so like, oh, here's where her powers came from, or like here's the whole backstory with her mom, like just make it streamlined and simple and funny, you know? That's all I want to see. I feel like Morbius, they try to make it too serious and too like dark and stuff like that. So I just feel like this could definitely lean more towards that, like I said, which again, not the greatest movie, but so fun to watch. And I think the characters are very interesting, and the whole premise of like seeing the future and trying to change it is one that is not new but has a lot of nuances to it of like who are you to decide like what gets changed and what doesn't. And then also if you have this guy chasing you down, like I think that could lead to a bunch of fun scenes where it's like they fail, quote unquote, but then you find out really it was like in her mind or like a future thing that she saw, and then they have to go back and try it again. So I think it looks really interesting. I'm pleasantly surprised, especially considering I thought the fact that we hadn't heard anything about it recently meant that like it was bad, it was not happening. Kind of like Morbius in a way, you know, where it was like no one was talking about it, and then you were like, yikes. So again, I'm sure it won't do good because it's girls, so you know, but I'm gonna enjoy it, and I think the trailer is really fun and the characters look really interesting. The action scenes look really cool. I feel like they didn't over rely on CGI, and we got like a little glimpse of like everyone in their suits, which is really cool. So yeah, I'm excited to see it. I think it looks cool. I think it looks cool. That's my final verdict, okay? So yeah, if you have seen the trailer, please feel free to leave your thoughts about it down below in the comments. Also make sure to give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!